Hey everybody, welcome back to Princess Friend. I'm your host, Princess Friend, and yeah, and actually the thing just clicked there. So hello everybody, welcome back to Princess Friend. I'm your host, Princess Friend. Just realized that might not have done that correctly. I don't know, that was weird. Anyway, hi everybody. So what ended up happening tonight is that I got done doing a bunch of editing and writing and getting some videos ready for next week. And then my mother-in-law called and said, hey, I'm going to come get Evan and take him for the evening. And I said, what? I didn't have anything planned to do tonight, or otherwise I'd like go out to see a movie or hang out with some friends. And I was like, well, I mean, I could always just jump on and see what everybody here is doing. It actually has been a while since we've done a live stream. I actually was doing it on, I think it was the last Thursday of every month. And I think the last one we did was in November, which means technically we skipped December and, we're going into January. So this one, I guess, will count for December. And then we'll go into, I'll probably do one at the end of this month too, just to kind of catch us all up. But definitely, good on that, Kenneth. Happy New Year to everybody, and for everybody who also didn't have anything else better to do on a Friday night. But I did want to kind of give some information about what we're kind of looking at going into 2019. So this is actually really, really cool to have everybody here. Now, one of the cool things about this year is that I actually have a game plan. We are releasing 3 videos a week, and of course I had the 3 videos ready, and then I was just like, hey, I have an extra one. It's like, so one of these weeks is going to have 4. Now I'm already making videos, and the goal here is that I'm going to be making them ahead of time to kind of save on energy. I can record a bunch of them at once and then edit them as we go along. Obviously, some of them will be, hey, this thing is happening right now, so we have to talk about it. It'll be spontaneous. But some of these other ones, like reviews and articles, documentary style, discussion pieces, those can be recorded earlier. And then, but actually I'm really spending a lot of time writing them and really trying to get them right. So this has actually been an amazing time already. What are we, January 4th? We're in January 4th, and I have about, I believe, like 8 or so videos like ready to go. Well, I'm mostly ready to go. Some of them are already up. It's cool. Hey, Alfonso from Alabama. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Irma. Hey, Judith. Hey, J-Soul. Kay Chavez. Tony Wellens. Telly's Muse. Thank you, everybody, for kind of showing up. So yeah, and definitely throw whatever questions you want in there. The super chat is available if you wanted to make your question pop up more. Feel free to do that. And but yeah, so one of the cool things that I get to do with this channel is I get to kind of explore my different ideas that I have about Prince. And so this week was kind of small. It was the what is your why and the Jellybean Johnson. And then this one, so that's 3 videos for the week. Next week, I have the review for Zapp and Rogers' All the Greatest Hits. And I actually just got done with that today and uploaded it. And if you are a patron at patreon.com/princessfriend, you could be watching that right now because they get early access to those big videos whenever I get them done. So they actually are watching the Zapp and Roger review right now, and I had a lot of fun making it. One of the fun things about that was that it was a couple of months ago, but I didn't know who Zapp and Roger were. So yeah, so now I do. Now I definitely do. Happy birthday, Tony. So awesome. Happy birthday. So we also have a few other ones. I am actually doing a part 2 to my top 10 Prince Screams list. I have that one coming out, which is really cool. I have another judges panel in the works, so that one's going to be really cool. We're going to be continuing all the different series that we've done, and I have a lot of really cool new ideas, as well as I'm reaching out to not only other channels to try and get some new collabs, maybe some people you haven't seen before, but I'm hoping that I'm reaching out to some musicians that I know that I'm hoping I will be able to get them on here and I will be able to get those interviews. So I'm really stepping up my interview game. I mean, I'm stepping up my asking people for interviews. That doesn't mean that they're going to say yes, but it would be nice if they did. I have a lot of really cool stuff going. One of the things that I did with 2018, which I did, is that I joined what was called it's like a partnership or whatever. It was with a company called BBTV, and they kind of, you know, they gave you access to like different tools and different music, stock photos. They give you kind of classes on how to like get your stuff going and how to do good keywords and stuff like that. So I had done that. But I actually decided this year, in 2019, that it just wasn't worth it. It actually was really worth it for like the first few months. And then afterwards, I had learned everything that I needed to learn. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Kimberly. Music for the Soul and K Cool Music. Yes, I know. Shame on me for not knowing Zap and Roger. But yeah, so I actually just canceled that and it's interesting. It's like refreshing because I'm going into this new year and it's just me now, as it's been just me for a while. But I want to do a huge shout out to Kari, who has been really helping me trying to get my marketing and my messaging and all of that stuff down. So thank you, Kari. I want to thank Stone, obviously, again, because Stone Blake has been doing an amazing job. We are working on organizing some sort of huge party for celebration. So I'm very excited about that. Just so much going on here at Prince's Friend. Oh my gosh, just so much. And, you know, it's one of those things like I'm so honored to be able to be here making stuff for you all, and that the things that I make actually spark discussion and thought and whatnot in, you know, our community. So I really like that. So anyway, so yeah, so things that we're going to be doing more, I'm definitely doing more lists. I'm getting some more interviews. I'm getting more discussion pieces, more reviews. Obviously, we're going to be going into emancipation soon. So that is going to be bonkers. I can't wait to do that. And I'm trying to figure out how to actually implement the emancipation reviews, because it is 3 discs. So I almost want to split it over 3 weeks and do one a week, because they're big. They're big albums. Not only is it 3 albums, but there's also a lot of songs on each of them. So for me to really dig in and do really good reviews for those, it might require that I split them up a bit. So, but that is kind of, you know, that's kind of how that works. You know, so I am trying to figure out the best way to do that. Because I want to make sure that, you know, I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Like if the first one is so amazing and then, you know, you guys are gonna be like, where's the second one? You know, so, but at the same time, you know, that's a lot of work to get, you know, 3 reviews done in a single week. And I've done it before. I have certainly done it before. If you guys remember the Graffiti Bridge weeks, I did 2 weeks of 1 review a day. So 5 reviews a week. It was crazy, but I'm thinking that Emancipation is going to end up being split. And also Crystal Ball is going to end up being split. So we have a lot of like those big albums, because as soon as Prince was out of his contract, he was like, I'm doing whatever. Actually, whatever I feel like doing. I'm gonna release 4 albums at a time, which is what he did with Crystal Ball. And actually Emancipation, that's a whole other thing. So yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm also going to be doing the book review for The Most Beautiful finally. And it's taken me a while to kind of get to that, but I felt like around Emancipation era is where this is where that book should lie, because, you know, the biggest part of that book is this area of their marriage and their relationship together. So good stuff. Hello to everybody who has gotten here. If you haven't been here before, I'm Prince's friend. Thank you for coming. And we're going to just be doing a bunch of talking, and I'm going to be answering some questions in just a second here. At this point, it's more me kind of giving some updates, but I think I'm mostly done with that. But I do have some other cool kind of things that I'm doing. I'm also trying to insert a little bit more humor into my videos, and I'm really trying to up the production value of what I'm doing here. So the Zapp and Roger review, for instance, is actually going to have, it has a couple of little funny skits in it, which I thought, I thought they were pretty funny. And it's me talking with a robot voice, so that's always fun. But, I think that I've been doing this for long enough now that I need to up my game for you guys. Like, you can only stare at this face for so long. I mean, you're doing it now, but still. Let me see if I can hit some questions here before I move on with any of my other notes. Happy New Year to everybody. Family's great. Thank you for saying, Judith, that I was excellent on the Michael Dean podcast. Podcast Juice, a podcast on Prince. They invited me on for kind of the year roundup. So if anybody hasn't gone and listened to that, definitely do that. And it was a lot of fun because I was on there with, Michael Dean. I was on there with Big Sexy. I was on there with Kanisa from Muse to the Pharaoh. The cool thing is that, in any discussion, if everybody just agrees, then there's no real discussion to be had. But I'm lucky that my opinion on a lot of things is very different than the average Prince friend. So, it was a lively discussion where I was like, yeah, but you just said that, but I completely disagree with it, and here's why. Which is, that's kind of me. I mean, sometimes sometimes I do it just to be argumentative. I like to play the devil's advocate every so often, like, well, yeah, but what about that? But sometimes it's really just genuine, and it really is just that, my opinions on things are often very different than other people's. And I think that's something that keeps this channel alive, is that you'll hear stuff here that you won't hear other places. So there you go. Let's see. Waiting on that book. Yes, the Prince Memoir book. I mean, somebody in the comments not too long ago said that it was going to be sometime around in the beginning of this year. We'll see what we actually get. I mean, I'm not going to report on anything until I have some actual information. There's also that thing going around that there might be a rave into, rave unto, and then rave into the year 2000 kind of box set together that might be out soon. Again, like, none of that's concrete, so I'm not going to make a video about it until, like, I know for a certain that something's going to happen. So I have no information on the book, and I'm so sorry. Let's see. What is your opinion on Alice in Chains? I love Alice in Chains. I think until Lane Staley died, and then after that, it just wasn't as good. Because they kept trying to recreate what it was when Lane Staley was there. Because, like, the lead singer that they brought in after the fact sounds just like Lane Staley, and I actually like his voice. It's not exactly like Lane Staley, but I do like his voice. But they're trying so hard to sound just like old Alice in Chains that I feel like they could take new Alice in Chains in a different direction. So that's my thought. How do you handle pressure? Oh, that's a very vague question. But I will say that, recently I have actually been dealing with some pressure. It's nothing, I'm not going to name any names or anything like that. But in the Prince community, I actually have been feeling, sort of isolated. And it's because some of the stuff that I say pisses some of the other, Prince friends off. And, and obviously I have my friends that are always there and they have my back, but I do feel a little bit more isolated than I did when I first started. I'm sure that will likely fade 2019, it's a brand new year. This is time for you to kind of take stock and realize what it is that you have and be thankful for that and move forward. And if there's any negativity, if there's anything kind of standing in your way, if there are any people who are trying to hold you back, forget them. Just cut them away. They are of no use to you. They haven't had their plus sign. So all they want to do is drag you down. And you kind of just need to let it go. And actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a review of this, not next week, but the week after. But St. Paul Peterson just came out with a brand new single. I think it was today, or it might have been yesterday, called You Gotta Love. And go check that out on YouTube. It was an amazing song. And it really picked up my spirits when I listened to it earlier today. And I had heard that they were going to be putting it out on the Prince podcast. And then today was actually the day that it actually came out. So there you go. That was a very long-winded answer, and I apologize for that. You're a gifted speaker. Thank you. I apologize. My answer to you are a gifted speaker is me talking like the Tasmanian devil. So yeah, that made sense. What are my top 5 Prince songs before Purple Rain? That's a good question. Probably Automatic would probably be number 1. I really like Bambi. It'd be somewhere like maybe 3 or 4-ish. I don't know. That's hard. That's a hard question. I'd have to like scour my collection and figure it out. There's a bunch of really good ones though. I'm a really big fan of Private Joy, so that'd be on there. There's 3 that would likely be in my top 5. So I think we'll do that. Is Jellybean CD going to be dropped in stores? That's a good question that I do not know the answer to. However, and it's a great song. It's Put Some Jelly on It. Again, if you haven't seen the video, go watch it. But you should just go to his website. You can buy it there. I don't know if it's going to get in stores. That's a distribution question, and I am not, privy to that information. If it ends up in a store, I think it'll sell like hotcakes because it's a really, really good song. I actually did a whole review on Put Some Jelly on It. Go watch that video. I do a bunch of those videos all the time. So let's see. I want you to interview Jill Jones. If Jill Jones wants me to interview her, then I will totally interview her. It was actually interesting that recently we've been getting a lot more traffic on my Jill Jones Says That the Revolution is a Milli Vanilli Band video that I made like over a year ago. And it's funny because in that video, and this is let me frame this video for you. She said that they're a Milli Vanilli band. Everybody's telling her she's crazy. So I make a video and I say, hey, everybody, she's not crazy. This is kind of what she's saying. I understand her point of view. I've had similar thoughts, but I didn't take like a hard stance on anything. I didn't be like, revolution is the most terrible thing ever, and she is wonderful and great. But it's funny because that's what people got from that video, was me kind of even trying to see it from Jill Jones's point of view, was me siding with her and saying I hate the revolution. But it's an interesting kind of conversation, and it's one of those things that if I had her on, I probably would talk to her about that. And it's been, when I did my video, it was already a year after she had made that comment, and then now it's been another year. So likely emotions aren't exactly the same. A lot of stuff was still very fresh. Wounds, need time to heal. So even now, like, I really don't have that big of an opinion about it. I am not privy to any of the information about what is, real about anything that was said there. And I'm rambling now. I'm going to have like a timer that I hit that says, hey, you've spent too much time on that question. Music for the Soul, Loving the Chaos and Disorder album, as you should. It's a great one. Got a Prince guitar symbol for Christmas, Alfonso. That's awesome. Great. Hey, Vicky, nice to see you here. Let's see. Are you going to talk about the History album by Michael Jackson? It's been a bit over a year. I got to know. It's been a bit over a year since what? I think the last review I did was for Dangerous. I think that was like 4 months ago or something like that. So it hasn't been a year since the last Michael review. Definitely not. History is definitely on the docket. When is that supposed to be? Let me look here. I have my thing here. It'll be like maybe like a couple of months, but it's coming soon. I have a lot of stuff that I need to cover, you know, kind of going up until there. And hey, Voltron, nice to see you. Moody Man t-shirt, yes. I would love to have Moody Man on the show. And actually was just talking to Tracy, who is his one of his organizers, his managers, and I was just talking to her today. And yeah, he doesn't do review. He doesn't do like interviews. I really wish that he did. I would totally have him on. I would have done one with him when I was in Minneapolis just recently, but he wasn't available. So, you know, there you go. As a relatively, this is from Sean M. As a relatively new Prince friend, I'm still working my way through the catalog, and I am stumped on whether to listen to Emancipation or Crystal Ball next. Well, if you're like me, you'll go in order, which means Emancipation. And because Crystal Ball came out the year after Emancipation, if I recall. So, I mean, I'm always about going in order. Also, Crystal Ball is one of those weird things because it's a throwback. All of those songs are old B-sides and stuff that he just never got on an album. So you can really kind of listen to that whenever. It doesn't have any kind of chronological meaning to anything, except that it made him a bunch of money at that time that he was selling it. So there you go. Let's see. I want to hang with you. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Hey, look at that. Hispanic Catholic said St. Paul just released a song. I just talked about that. Let's see. Oh no, it jumped around. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, hey, Nisi. Nice to see you. Good to see you here too. And I lost where I was with all of my blah blah blah. All right, I'm gonna end up skipping a bunch of these things, but if you have a question, you can do the super chat and it'll pop up so that I'll definitely see it. Let's see. There anything happening at the Prince Museum in 2019? By the Prince Museum, I wonder, are you thinking Paisley? And if you are, obviously there's going to be Celebration. And I actually have gotten some information on who the special guest, the headlining performer, is going to be. But of course, I have been sworn to secrecy, so I'm not allowed to say that. But it's gonna. I think you guys are gonna be happy with it. I think it's gonna be good. I can make you dance if you want me to. You're funny. Let's see. Irma, you saying that you thought that there was only 50 pages done. If you go back, I actually did a whole video about what 50 pages might mean. So go check out, just do a search on my channel for the word memoir. And I did a whole thing on that. Oh, hey, Mei Ling. Nice to see you. Just see. So for 2019, what is one thing you would like to see released from the vault? Oh, that's a good question. You know, it sounds silly, but I would love an official release of Deliverance. Maybe with a little bit extra on there, maybe. But I love Deliverance, and you know, I have it. I would love to see an official release of that. I would love to see maybe a Crystal Ballish type thing, but maybe for some 90s songs, where it's a bunch of, maybe a big collection of songs. I don't know. That's a really good question. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot to be said there. There's a lot of things that could be released as well, which is the wonderful thing. There was a whole album called Yellow that I have, but it's really bad quality. The copy that I have, I would love for them to take that and make that better. Will I ever discuss Manuela? Probably not. I probably won't discuss most things that don't involve Prince and his music. Like, I talk a lot about Maite, but Maite was a muse. She was on a lot of the songs. She was a dancer. She was part of that. Like, she's there. So it's hard for me to justify just talking about people who aren't really part of that. I mean, Manuela was there, and I'm sure she was amused as well. But you're like, I'm here for the music, so it's hard for me to spend a whole lot of time, delving into his marriages and stuff like that. I'm good. I'm good. Uh, so you're getting popular, so others are hating. I mean, kinda, but I hate to say it that way. It makes me sound like I have a big head or whatever. But I mean, I think a lot of that is, what it is. Let's see. Found your channel because of Prince, but really loved your review of The Cure's Disintegration. Oh, very cool. I love the Cure as well. Let's see. I want to get music reviews. I want to get into music reviews. Any tips for starters? Oh, that's an interesting question. You want to focus your channel, because anybody can just have a channel where they do reviews. But a lot of the channels nowadays have things like, there's usually a guy who does mostly rock, and there's one that does mostly rap, and there are those generalized ones, but usually only after you already have some sort of following at that point. So there you go. Let's see. So, all right. Let's see. I know about the legal trouble that kept The Most Beautiful Girl in the World off Spotify, but why is the Black album missing? WB did eventually release it. So let me answer that. And I actually did talk about that in my review for the Black album. I think I talked about it in my video about Prince's contract. That with Warner Brothers as well. But there was a big deal about the Black album. He had them re-release it as part of his contract. But what he also did was he had a stipulation about releasing that album that said any copies that weren't sold by the end of that year had to be returned to be destroyed. Because, again, he really never wanted the Black album out there, but he was willing to put it out there in order to get out of his contract. So the reason why it's not out there, I think because maybe they don't have the rights to it because of that stipulation in that contract. So there you go. And obviously I'm not a lawyer, so I could be completely wrong, but that's the part that I know, and that's why they didn't sell it for the longest time. They sold it in 1994, and then that was it. So yeah, there you go. Thoughts on the 2 hit and run albums and possibly a third on Tidal. So I'm excited about a third possibly being out on Tidal. I think that it would be really cool to get a third installment of that, because it was later music and it was a lot of like modern retellings of older songs, which I really, really dug. I mean, the first 2 are amazing, so I'm not going to get into a whole review about them right now, but yeah, they were amazing. The third one, I'm waiting for information just like you guys. I wish that I had an inside track at Tidal that I would be able to get more information. It's just not my reality right now. Maybe one day. Let's see. Let's see. On the Emancipation Era, of course, their marriage. Will you be discussing Manuela? Okay, I already answered that. Oh, that was interesting. God, I guess I doubled that one. I'm probably with me scrolling through all the stuff. What happened to the Leaking Prince channel? I'm not really sure. I think the last time that I heard about the Leaking Prince channel was when the guy, I don't even know, guy, girl, whoever, but came off as a guy. But he came on to one of our live streams here and was boasting about how he's going to be bigger than me and everybody should just go subscribe to him instead. And I was like, okay, I mean, you can come on and be a jerk if you want. But his entire channel was posting just concerts of Prince and videos of Prince. So I would imagine that his channel is gone due to copyright infringement. I thought that it was cool. I mean, I actually, I yoinked a few videos off of his channel before it was gone. He had some good stuff. So there you go. Oh no, it jumped again. Oh man. Well, anyway, Gladys, thank you so much for the $5. If you had a question, I would have loved to have answered it, but I mean, just thank you anyway. I appreciate it. Feel free to attach things to that, because That's the whole point of it. And we actually have our most people I've ever had in a live stream here. We have over 100 people. So, woo, go you guys. This is awesome. So let's see. I'm sure I skipped some. So if I'm skipping your question, feel free to retype it. Has anybody seen the Tales on the Tour Bus Morris Day? I have, and it was amazingly hilarious. I saw the whole thing. I didn't watch it on YouTube. I actually watched the episode, and like it was hilarious, and it was really super touching. That really makes me want to get an interview with Morris, or it was cool seeing Jellybean on there, because like it's so weird whenever I see Jellybean now, because I've hung out with Jellybean and I'm just like, hey, that's Jellybean, that's my friend. We're probably not friends or whatever, but we've hung out before and it was fun. But I really did like that. So let's see. Crystal Ball, Sorry Love, the album Major Funk, but they are both incredible. Oh, okay. What are your thoughts about Prince being locked out of his own vault? So yeah, I heard about that, and I actually heard about it from Violet Reality. That is such a, it's so funny, because there's a lot of different answers to that. It could be something along the lines of, hey, we couldn't find a key, so he must have been locked out. But also it could have just been that he said, like, no, I'm locked out, like as a way to like get people to stop asking him, like, I don't feel like going in there right now. Or he knew the code or had the key or whatever and just didn't feel like using it. I mean, who knows? But if you look at the last album releases that he had, a lot of those were kind of going back to older songs, especially Hit and Run Phase 2. So I would imagine that he had used it recently in order to go do that. But it also could have been something, there are too many theories. And the one I was about to say was actually, it actually was about to make me cry. So I'm not going to say it. So yeah, there you go. Maybe on a less public forum, I might have that discussion. What are your thoughts on the rumors of Rave getting reissued? Yeah, the rumors sound like they would cool. I would totally watch it if they did it again. Or I'd buy it. I'd buy it just, again, to support the releases and to put more money into the coffers. And there you go. Yeah. Miss your old Prince-related news videos. Those were great. I have been doing a lot less news, and I still do them every so often. But I've also noticed that there haven't been that many big news pieces recently. There have been some rumors and stuff like that. I mean, the moment that there are, bam, big news, I definitely am going to talk about that. I did a video about the albums being released on vinyl. I did, I did one about the different movie, the movie that was going to be being made with Prince's music. So I've done a few. And, it's there. Tess, wonderful to have you here on your very first live stream with us. Thank you. Let's see, GamerFan25. I found your channel about a year ago when I was just getting into Prince, and now I'm hooked on Prince and your channel. Haha. I did like a Will Smith haha kind of thing at the end. That's probably not what you implied, but thank you. I'm so glad that you like it. And, hopefully not only are you enjoying Prince's music, but hopefully my videos are actually giving you maybe some more context and maybe helping you enjoy those albums and the music just a little bit more. Any word on Chaka Khan's new album with Prince? She's been releasing songs from her latest album. So I think that might be what it is. I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, because I saw the video for her latest one. She has a couple of videos out that were released a few months ago, and likely those are stuff, but she hasn't made any secondary, like, I worked on these songs with Prince kind of announcements. So who knows? What are some of my favorite artists besides Prince? That's a very good question. Obviously, I was going to say obviously Prince, but Prince is kind of implied in the question. I'm a really big fan. I'm a really big fan of Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails. I really love Childish Gambino. Tori Amos, Fiona Apple, kind of in that same vein. I love it when you can get just an artist and a piano and you can just enjoy them. And actually all four of those people, because I'm throwing Prince back in there, all four of those people do that really well. What do you think about Rick James versus Prince in the funk genre? I have a lot of thoughts on that. And the funny thing about that is hopefully we'll have a video coming out about that soon. That would be nice. Judith Hill, Golden Child, what's your first look here opinion? So here's the thing about Golden Child. I saw the very, like, the preliminary video that she shot like months ago, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. And then I have not listened to anything else Judith Hill, and I'm like guilty. I still need to listen to it, is basically what I'm saying, and I haven't listened to it yet, and it's on my list. I have a very, very long list of things to do. From Mel Smith, hey PF, Happy New Year. Have you heard the podcast with Suzanne Melvoin on the tour show? It's deep and personal account of their relationship. I haven't. I got a couple of links to it. Like, people were like, you gotta listen to this. The last few days, like I said, have been me really kind of getting into my own head, and I've been writing and scripting out and recording and doing like mad videos for you guys. So that's really what my week has been. And again, like in that week, I was able to get 8 videos written, 7 of them, and like 5 of them recorded, so I've really been kind of going crazy. And again, with a release schedule of, I'm trying to go for, 3 a week. If I can get, 12 in the bag in the first couple of weeks, then I can relax and I can then take my time with the ones coming after that. So that's the hope, at least. We'll see what happens. So let's see. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. All right, so Maite was in the MPG, so it's about the music. I do wonder about Manuela, though. But I wish I didn't. It's none of my business. And that's kind of the funny thing about it is that, it's only our business if they make it our business. And that was actually, it's probably something I'll say in my review of Maite's book, but I remember having a conversation with somebody, and they were like, Prince never wanted Maite to release that book, and she should have respected his wishes and, all that stuff, and she needs to just shut her mouth, because all she's doing is making him look bad, which I didn't get that from the book, but, whatever. And then my response was, Tina Turner released a book, which was all about her life, and, went in depth into what was going on with her and Ike. Somebody could accuse her of doing the same thing. She's releasing a book and she's ruining his career. So the thing about stories is, especially when you have this story of the relationship of Maite and Prince, that's not Prince's story. It's Prince's story and Maite's story. And each of them is going to come at it a different way. And I think that it's just as valid, Maite's story, as it is Prince's. So I was actually really happy and humbled to have actually read that book, and to read those stories from her point of view. So yeah, so there's that. I guess that's that. Yeah. Oh, and it just jumped again. This is crazy. I hate this. I really hate the chat box, because I can't keep, like, you guys know me. I ramble like all hell. So if I take any longer than like 30 seconds to answer every question, then the thing just jumps in and it just lose a ton of stuff here. Let's see. How do you think the original The Dawn album would have been received if it was accepted by Warner Brothers? How would it have been received? I would have dug it. It was a lot of material, though. So like, I understand, like, looking at it, it's easy to see, like, Warner Brothers was like, dude, come on. Like, that's a lot. So I think it would have been a hard pill to swallow for anybody. I think that's all I have. I think it would have been a lot, but the idea was that he was willing to put that out and then not put out anything else for like a couple of years because it was so much music. So they would have had it would have been a big box set. It would have been a huge endeavor, but I think it would have been something that had never really been done before. So I think it would have been pretty cool. Um, what do you why do you think folks are stuck in Purple Rain era and didn't follow the later work? There's so much good stuff later. Why couldn't folks follow his journey? I think it has a lot to do with nostalgia. And the idea that the way you remember things is the way that they will always be. And I actually did tackle that with the Rabid 80s Prince fan in my review of Chaos and Disorder. That was a really fun character too. The wig was way too tight and the shirt choked me. But it was fun to go like, act like a crazy person. But as soon as so here's the thing about the music industry and how performers do a lot of stuff is as soon as you find a formula that works, a lot of performers will just do that because that's what people expect. And the way that you make money is you find something that somebody already has and you give them more of it, and then they will pay for it. However, Prince was constantly evolving and was always doing different things. And that is not the way that you exist in the record industry. So I think I don't know, I guess that's a pretty good answer, I think. But that's essentially it, is people say, I love Prince. And when they think of Prince, they think of Purple Rain. So if I then throw on Chaos and Disorder or something from Emancipation, they're like, that doesn't sound like Prince. That doesn't sound like the Prince that I like. And then they lose their minds. So, so there you go. Let me see. I mentioned the memoir already. How do I feel about the musical based on Prince's music? If they do it good, I guess, but I've yet to see a good one done. So I don't know. It's really hard. The Prince YouTube channel needs to put the video for the song Purple Rain on there. There's a bunch of videos they need to put on there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'll say there. It keeps jumping. You're doing an awesome job. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm really trying my best here. Let's see. Do you think a Vanity tribute CD will be done in 2019? I don't know, because even when Vanity was hot, like even when she was out and she was hot, like her albums never really sold like a ton. So that's kind of a hard one. I don't know, because remember, the bottom line is always, will somebody buy this? So that's kind of how that works. So I enjoy your let me see. SRC, I so enjoy your positive spin on things. Keep up the good work. Thank you, SRC. I appreciate that. I do try to keep it positive here. I know that there are people who I have blocked who are mad that I blocked them. But I do that on the channel to keep, I don't care if people disagree with each other or with me, but like, you can't be belligerent. You can't be harassing people. So I do try to keep it as positive as possible in my comments. Although, of course, I am disagreed with all the time because, again, as I said, I have a very different opinion than a lot of people who are also in the Prince community. So have I heard any news about the newest Prince releases? Not yet, Eric. And as soon as I do, I will totally let everybody know. I love the Prince Questions contest between you and your friends. I learned a lot. Will you do more? Yes. There will definitely be more friend-offs because I enjoy doing those as well. Not only because Stone is so cool to hang out with. And actually Sean, I will say Sean McPherson from the Purple Current, he's also very cool to hang out with. And when I went back up to Minneapolis, I got to hang out with them again, which was really, really nice. But we'll definitely do more of those because there's just so much fun. And and I want to do more than that. I want to do it with more other than just Stone and Sean, or even just when I'm in Minneapolis. I actually have gotten hooked up with a bunch of cool people here, even in Florida. I know, even in Florida, that are really cool. And I'm talking about possibly like setting up some cameras and just having a fun kind of roundtable discussion, just talking about Prince. And then I'll get to throw that up at you guys. It'll be great. So anyway, yes, there's lots more to come in that vein. Let's see. That I answered that question already. You guys are reposting questions, I'm noticing, and I know I said to do that if I skipped your question, but anyway. Am I going to do anything for MJ's anniversary in June? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll do the last. No. It wouldn't be the last. That would be Invincible was the last one. Maybe I'll try to slot the Blood on the Dance Floor review for June. That would be cool. I could totally do that. Let's see. Locked out of the vault. Yeah. If there were to be a crossover between Michael Jackson and Prince movie short film, what would they be? I don't think I understand the question. So I don't think I can answer it. What are my thoughts on Lenny Kravitz? I like Lenny Kravitz. He's good. So here, everybody say yes to Lenny Kravitz. So one thing here, now that I have 100 people watching me, if anybody out of these 100 people, 106 people, have not already subscribed to the Prince YouTube channel, make sure that you go and you do that, because it's criminally under-subbed. It's like 450,000 or something like that. I'm like, how is that even possible? So everybody here needs to make sure that you are subbed to the Prince YouTube channel. You don't have to leave here to do that. Open up a second tab or something. I'm just saying. So there you go. What songs? What songs that you can think of that can be on an album, such as an ultimate album for Prince? An ultimate album? I don't know. That's really hard. It's really, I mean, because there are really just so many songs. I would actually love to see something with The Second Coming happen. I would love for them to release that movie and those songs that were never released. I would love to see that come out. Let me see, Pamela. Oh, hey, Pamela. Hey, how you doing? Happy New Year. Love to see you do an interview with Sheila E. I haven't met her. Wonderful channel and always insightful. I have never met Sheila E. She's big. Like, I don't even know. Like, I will have to see if I can get her. But she would be an amazing one to interview. And I think I have 2 more albums of hers to actually review, and then I'm done with all her albums. Because I've been doing, I think I've done 4 Sheila E. reviews already. Definitely, I've always loved that. Robert Fay, hello from New Hampshire. Thank you. Let me see. We're all here to celebrate Prince. Don't feel ashamed to cry. Speaking of the subject, I'd like to hear what you were going to say. I am going to keep that. I know, because that what. Yeah. There's a whole lot of things to be said, and you know, maybe one day, years from now, I will do a video. Maybe after more has been discovered about his final days and whatnot. Because right now, anything that I say, it's all speculation. It's all hearsay. It's all just random thoughts. So anyway, yeah. So you made me think about it again, which made me go, ooh, and then I have to reel it back. If I could fix one aspect of one of Prince's 4 films, what would I change? What I would do is I would take Graffiti Bridge and I would force Prince to hire a screenwriter. because I actually think that the performances done in that movie are actually pretty good, but they weren't working with much. You know, I actually do some screenwriting, so like the dialogue and the pacing, the editing was weird. I know that there were a whole bunch of stuff that was cut out to make it a shorter movie. I feel like there was just a lot that could have been done to make that movie better than it was. And I think it deserved that because the soundtrack was so good. So, have I heard if they are going to do anything with the movie 3121? Nope. And I'm still waiting for more information on the Kevin Smith thing too. Let's see. Loving your channel, Jenny Blake. Thank you, Jenny Blake. Let's see. I've noticed a huge source of Prince music being used in commercial and played more on the radio. Me personally, I feel some type of way about his music being used and can see his point on material. For me, it's all about how it's used. If it makes sense, then I'm fine with it and I don't have an issue. Like I've said, I think I've said it on a couple of occasions, the Capital One commercial of the family going on outings doesn't match Let's Go Crazy. That was a dumb use of that song and they should not have done it. But Prince was not above doing commercials. There was a Verizon commercial. You can find it on YouTube, actually, a Prince Verizon commercial where he performed the song Guitar, and he made a deal with them that if you downloaded the app through the Verizon store after you just got a brand new Verizon phone, then you would get Guitar for free, which would give you a taste of that album. And I think that that's awesome. And he used it as a way to spread his music and his message and get into more people's ears. So again, like there was a reason for that. So if you're just throwing songs on commercials and there's no reason for it, then that's dumb. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for the question. And it jumped again. Oh, this text box. I feel like I'm falling behind anyway. I feel like you guys are way ahead in this conversation. Oh my gosh, you guys really are. I had to scroll so much higher. I'm going to end up skipping some of these, and I apologize. It's going to be terrible. What's my opinion on Prince doing covers? I am loving The Whole of the Moon. So Prince loved doing covers, but Prince, when he was with Warner Brothers, was told not to do covers. And that's why he didn't. And that's why, of course, when he released Emancipation, it had, I believe, 3 covers on it. 4 covers on it. It had 4 covers on it. Hopefully that's the right number. But that was why. He was like, finally, I can put a cover on an album. And he had wanted to do it for years and never got the chance to do it. So let me see. Is Prince and Madonna falling in love? I don't think so, Raywin. And also, hi, Raywin. Let's see. I recorded a tribute album of original material for PRN. I would love for you to hear it. I would love to hear it. It'll be awesome. Yeah, definitely. I love listening to music, to new music. Bleh, words are hard. Let's see. You just ordered Maite's book. Good, Gabrielle. I think you'll like the book. I really enjoy the read. I haven't recorded my review for that yet. I will be doing it soon, and I'm actually pretty excited to actually get all of my thoughts down because there are a lot of misconceptions about that book, and there was a lot revealed in that book that even Maite, I don't think she thought she revealed. So there's stuff that I definitely want to talk about. Anyway. That's hints of the future there. Hints of the future. Thoughts on the Grateful Dead? I never got into them. My friend Elgin was really into them. So I've heard a lot of Grateful Dead, but it just wasn't for me. It's okay. Let's how big is the Electric Fetus store? Well, that's a good question. I think it's probably somewhere around 3,000, maybe 3,500 square feet. That's probably my guess. It's pretty big though, and it's got like a little mini stage there and everything, so you can do shows. It was pretty good. I was just there last time I was up there for the for the book launch for Prince Before the Rain, which of course, if you guys haven't picked up that book, definitely do, and then tell them that Prince's friend told you to buy it, so that they'll be like, oh my God, it's so awesome that Prince's friend is telling everybody to buy our book. Please just, anyway. Let's see. Heard of Lacuna Coil? Yes, I love Lacuna Coil. It's so cool because my daughter was really into Evanescence, and I was just like, oh, you like Evanescence? Oh, I'll just, hit play on some Lacuna Coil, and I'll just leave you with that. There you go. Go ahead and fall in love. So that's basically how I do my kids. I figure out what they like, and then I throw stuff that I know they'll love at them. How many of you on here are going to make it to Celebration 2019? Well, I definitely will, Suzanne. And again, as I mentioned before, we're really trying to plan some sort of like big party or a big get together or something that I can do for all of my friends who will hopefully also be at Celebration. So that should be pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just going to be going as just a general, goer as well. They don't let you, I was going to put in for a possible media pass, but even if I don't get that, I'll still go. But you can't even apply for that until like a month before. So I'm gonna have to buy my ticket ahead of time and all that stuff. So, in your research, have you found any? This is Eric again. You have a lot of questions, Eric. Have you found any truth to the rumor that MJ was going to do the light side of the Batman soundtrack, and then Prince was supposed to do the dark side? I have not. I have heard that before. From some of the comments and from some of the other people who have, kind of friends of the channel. But I have not seen any substantiated evidence. But, I think it would be a cool idea. But from everything that I've heard, they went into it with Prince in mind and not Michael Jackson. So I don't know. We'll see. Nisi going to be there. Nice. Hopefully I get to actually hang out with you a little bit this year. It is this year. I can now say this year. I kept for the last 6 months I've been saying, this year's celebration, but it's now I can say that. Let's see. Is Apollonia 6 doing a reunion? I haven't heard anything about it. If I do, I'll let you guys know. Do you think there is a chance for you to interview Maite? So this has been kind of my unicorn, my white whale, my thing that I've been chasing now for about a year. Actually, no, since Celebration, I've been chasing Maite. I actually really would like to interview Maite, and I'm working on it. I at least know who to contact, and we've sent a couple emails back and forth. It is going to be a big thing with scheduling because I'm in Florida and she's all over the world. So, and I have yet to see her come to Florida. So if she comes anywhere in my vicinity, I'll drive to her, but that's a whole other thing. But I would love to interview Maite. She's actually, I grew up on Maite. So she's there for me. Let's see. Yes, Vicky, it was a good book. I actually read mine in 3 days. So you are a much faster reader than me. So there you go. Have you ever seen any Michael Trapson's videos? Yes. Oh my God, they're freaking hilarious, and it's so funny. You have to be able to find the humor in the things that you love. So I can watch that and I'm like, oh my God, you were so wrong for doing Prince like that. And you were so wrong for doing Michael like that. But those videos are so funny. You just kind of have to, you have to get over yourself. It's hilarious. He does really cool videos. I think that would be really cool. Have I heard anything new about Prince documentary from Ava DuVernay? I actually listened to the whole Prince podcast on that one, and they had a really good discussion about that. There hasn't been any more information since then, but she is getting all of the access to everything in the vault. She's going to be able to do the interviews. She's going to make it a really cool documentary. She has done good documentaries before, like she did the 13th, and I loved the 13th. If you haven't seen the 13th, watch it because it's super relevant to today's time and all that stuff. So, but I actually really do like her work. So hopefully she does a good job here. And Ava, if you are watching, which you probably aren't, but if you are watching, call me up. I'll help out. I know some stuff. It'll be fun. Let's see. Oh gosh. Favorite Prince B-side. Oh. My favorite Prince B-side's probably the Universal Love remix of Space. Yeah, that's why it ended up on my Purple Current playlist. Which, if you weren't able to hear my Purple Current playlist when it came on the radio, if you become a patron at patreon.com/princessfriend, that is one of the things that the patrons have access to, was my time on the Purple Current. So feel free to go and grab that. If you had to choose one video of yours to show somebody who's never heard of Prince, which video would you show them? Which video of mine if they've never heard of Prince? Whew. Oh man, I'd have to like go through all of my videos to really try to figure that out. I hmm. 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 You know what? I don't know. It's interesting because I do try to make my videos as accessible to new people as possible. But a lot of my stuff comes out as me just kind of talking as a Prince friend of many years to many of the people who are already Prince friends of many years. So that is a kind of difficult one. If I was just to introduce somebody, I would do it the same way that I do with Prince. Is I would say, start from the beginning, man. Bam. My Blood, thank you for coming to your very first live stream. It's a pleasure to have you. Let's see. Who would be my dream interview on my channel? Maite is kind of my dream interview on the channel. I'm also, like I said, I'm also reaching out to other musicians and stuff. Like, another really cool interview that I would love to do would be Peanut from 311. Who learned, like, he was inspired a lot by Prince's bass playing, and I would love to have an interview with him. I think he's a really cool guy. So there you go. There's lots of questions being thrown at. Should there be a Prince radio station for his music and other artists he produces? Yeah, it's actually called the Purple Current. If you go to the Purple Current, I think, is it the purplecurrent.com? If you go to the current.com, there'll be a link to Purple Current, and it's actually a radio station in Minneapolis. And the Purple Current plays essentially what you just said, and then they also have the Purple Hour, which is 1 hour of the day where they play only Prince music, but there's Prince music throughout the whole day. That's a really cool one. So Music for the Soul, go check out the Purple Current. So there you go. I love that I can, like, is there a thing? Yes. Go do that thing. I love having actual answers as opposed to some of the questions here where I'm like, I don't know. Let's see. I was a total non-Prince fan until I was forced to see Purple Rain and my mind was blown. Prince is the Bruce Lee of music. That ain't wrong. That ain't wrong. He's the Bruce Lee of music. I like that a lot. I hate that you were forced to watch Purple Rain, but I'm glad that you came out of the experience well. So, so there you go. Let's see. Where am I on this thing? Did I lose this? Bonnie Raitt was supposed to sign to Paisley Park, but it didn't work out. And actually, from what I've heard from, I think it was an interview with Bonnie Raitt, is that she and Prince cut a whole album. Like, they did the whole album. And then everything fell through. So that album is in the vault. It would be nice if they could actually release that. Because I dig Bonnie Raitt a little bit. I like a couple of her singles and stuff. So I'd actually like to hear what she could churn out with Prince's kind of influence. Because I feel like when Prince, influences your music, it comes out different. Like, if you listen to, Janelle Monáe, like, she's got some songs that are produced by some other people, and then you can hear when Prince had a hand in a couple of her songs. So there you go. Are you going to do anything for Prince's birthday, June 7th, 2019? I don't know. Last year I went to a party and it was kind of bleh. The year before that, it was really fresh, so I was just listening to Prince music. 2019, I don't really know. Maybe that'll be the day that I get together with my friends and just have nice, fun conversations about Prince. We'll see. That's a good question, but like I literally don't think that far in advance. I am working so hard to get stuff ready for like next week. So, do you think, this is from Kenneth, do you think Michael Jackson was more funk than pop because Michael came, he started with funk? I think Michael Jackson is more funk than pop? No. Do I think the Jacksons? Do I think the Jackson 5 is more funk than pop? Yes. But when Michael started his solo stuff, yes, Off the Wall was still pretty funky. But after that, he was going for something different. And there was a little bit of funk in there. Because you can't escape your roots. But he knew what he was doing. That was pump. That was pop music. So yeah, definitely. Terrence Trent D'Arby, I like him. He's cool. Did I give my family any Prince gifts for Christmas, especially my children? I did not. My kids got a bunch of stuff that only they would like. But no Prince stuff for them. Most of the Prince stuff was for me, and I did that video. I think it was yesterday. I posted it. It was my Prince presents, and I actually forgot to mention a book that I got, and it's not here at my desk. But I actually got a whole book about like lessons Prince taught us or whatever, which was poignant because that's going to be one of the videos that is going to be coming up for me soon. I'm really, really excited about it. If anybody follows my tweets or any of my social media stuff, I just talked about how I had just scripted out a very personal video that after writing it, it made me cry. And yeah, like that one, it's not coming out next week. I believe it's going to be the week after because I'm still really working on it. It has to be perfect for me to put it out there. So I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah. All right. That was a weird tangent. I'm gonna bring it back now. Any news on the new book, Deborah? No news. We'll have news soon, hopefully. I am subbed and on the Patreon. Join me, team SRC. Everybody listen to SRC. Just saying. It's so funny because the Patreon is an interesting thing, right? Because it's one of those sort of weird things. Like I'm like, hey, like everybody go check out the Patreon. You get extra stuff and all that stuff. And it's kind of like standard practice on YouTube to also have a Patreon, like unless you have 250,000 subscribers, which is where people can then do channel memberships through YouTube. But even that's like different, and it's a whole thing. But Patreon is a whole other ball game. It's so weird. It's so weird. I say that and I do it all the time. But it really is kind of the thing. Like it allows me to really do a lot more with the channel. So it's good. I do enjoy it. So check out the Patreon, patreon.com/princessfriend. I say that at the end of every video. I'm sure everybody's sick of hearing it, but it's kind of an important piece of having a successful YouTube channel at this point. Have I ever heard of the Jonas Brothers? I have. And actually, I'm going to be doing a review, probably not soon, it's somewhere on my list here, of Nick Jonas's album. Because he actually did a whole album, because he's actually super inspired by Prince. He would be a good interview person to get. I'm going to have to jot that down somewhere. If the people who are helping me get interviews know him, let me know. Let's see. Thank you, Kimberly. I'm very happy. Thank you for being here for me. Michael Girl, hi. It's so weird that you just hi. Show. Let's see. All right, it jumped again. So let's see where I'm at here. How much is Celebration? I think last year it was like 400. Or it was like 600 if you were gonna do like the VIP or whatever. And VIP is too rich for my blood. And yes, Nisi, we will totally see. That's how far behind I am on these questions. is I'm just now responding to something that Nisi probably wrote like 15 minutes ago. So I apologize for that. I'm going to skip some of these. I'm going to skip ahead. And what are my thoughts on Bjork? I love Bjork. Oh my God. Especially her album Homogenic. I may do a review of Homogenic one day. That would be really cool. Rob Connor, dude, I love your channel. Thank you so much, Rob. Love the information that you share with us on this channel. Thank you, Marsha. Let's see. Can I Purple Current in the UK? Yes, because it's just an app. It's an app for your phone, or you can go to the website and listen to it. You can totally Purple Current anywhere as long as you have an internet connection. Do it, because the people there at the Current are amazing people. I got to actually hang out with them when I was in Minneapolis. And Sean, who is the host of the Purple Hour, he's top notch, like really good friend of mine. So he's really cool. So there we are. Would I do an interview with Kim Barry? The question of would I? Yes. I don't know if it's one of those reviews or interviews. I don't know if it's a review that I would seek out, because there would be a whole bunch of others that I would probably want to do first. But she also has been talking a lot about that book coming out. She's been talking about that book for a while, and I still have not seen it. But she's been talking about that book. So maybe when that book comes out, that would be a really cool interview to get, I think. I feel like the Violet Reality will likely scoop that interview before I can get to it, especially since I have no connections of any sort. So all of my interviews I've completely lucked into, which is wonderful. And I'm just let me take a, so I'm not just holding my cup the whole time. All right, let's see. Have I seen Prince live? Yes. I have definitely seen Prince live one time. I saw him live one time. So let's see. Lolly Prince music. I'm late. You are not late. You are right on time. Time is an illusion. Promise to ask about the song and video of Seven and try to get the info from behind the scenes footage. I did, in my Love Symbol album review, I talk about a bunch of the different theories about Seven, so you might want to check that out. Kim Barry is value for money too. She talks without needing to be interviewed. Love her and her stories. Okay, because Alan was like that too, where I'd be like, so Alan, what do you think about let me tell you a story about me? And oh, go for it. That was pretty much my thing there. Have I ever heard Prince and Madonna's love song duet? Yes, I have. Hopefully I'll get to Like a Prayer sometime this year. I actually do want to do the review of that album. I'm not going to say what I think about that song right now. You are really coming into your own, my friend. The podcast vlogs keep getting better and better. You've opened my eyes to a lot of his music that I didn't know about. Thank you. Wow, and thank you so much. I really appreciate that, because that's the goal. Like that's what this is all for, you know? Like I don't do this like for my health, you know? I do this because like I have an intense love of Prince and his music and his message, and I like to spread that message. And I love that what I do here has gotten not only people who have never heard his stuff before into his stuff, but also people who were already into him. They're getting a greater appreciation for what he does. And if I am just a small piece of that, and you know what, I think I'm repeating what I said in my highlights video, but if I'm just a small piece of that, you know, it's an honor for me to be a part of anybody's musical journey. And all of us have a different journey that we're on. So yeah, there you go. So thank you. I didn't mean to get all like sentimental there. Let's see. What about collaborating with the Prince podcast? Well, isn't that funny that you mentioned that? We just did a video not too long ago, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get darling Nisi on here. I'm actually excited, but you know, I'm one of those people, like I could bring her on and like, hey Nisi, tell me about what it is that you do. Oh, well, I do that. Like, I mean, I could do that, but I really like. It's way more fun for me to just bring on somebody else who's a huge Prince friend and let's do something fun. Let's talk about his music. Let's do a judges panel. Let's do a versus video. Let's do a review together. Like, that's what I'm really interested in, is sharing the love. And then, like, in the process, we'll learn a lot about that other person. So anyway, that's how I like to do it. Clara, your first live stream, thank you. It has actually been a while since I've done a live stream, and we've gained, I would say, anywhere, I think like maybe 1,200 or so subscribers since the last time I did one. So for all you people who this is your first one, welcome. You know, I didn't actually get to say you're welcome to the channel, but welcome to the channel. It's so awesome. Prince B-Day, you should do another live chat. I could do that. It might be emotional. That would be a hard one, because I feel like if I did a live stream on Prince's birthday, then I would get a whole bunch of people coming on and saying, like, you know, what do you think about his death? And this is the anniversary, and why are you celebrating this? And, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. It was so interesting. If you guys don't know, there is the community tab on YouTube now. And it was so funny because I worked so hard to get to 10,000 subscribers so that I could get the community tab. And when I got there, when I got to 10,000 subscribers, this was months ago, they said, oh, well, it's still in beta, so, you know, only select channels are going to get it, so we're not going to give it to you right now. And I was like, fine. They gave me the premiere function, so I was like, I guess I'll use that for a bit. And then, like, I got the community tab, and then like 2 weeks later, they gave it to everybody who has at least 1,000 subscribers. And I was like, ain't that some crap? Like, I had been working so hard to get the community tab. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Like, I'm happy that everybody has it. It's actually really cool. It's a cool tool. Oh yeah, so what I was going to say to that was I post like different pictures and like hints and polls and stuff in the community tab. And it was funny because around Christmas, I posted a picture of Prince and I said, celebrate like you're launching into a guitar solo. And it was a picture of him like, oh, you know, in the guitar solo pose, and it was amazing. And I had somebody who was like, Prince didn't celebrate Christmas. Why are you even doing anything? I'm just like, but calm down. When I celebrate, I listen to Prince. It doesn't matter what Prince believed or what he did. His music makes me want to celebrate, and I hope that it does the same for everybody else. So there you go. Wow, that was a long, really long answer to pretty much nothing. I don't even think my answer had anything to do with your question. Do I listen to the Prince podcast? I do. Do I listen to Purple Underground? Yeah, I watch Purple Underground. They're pretty good. Hopefully, I'm hoping to do a collab with them soon. It's a scheduling thing. Let's see. You should do a documentary about what you're doing. Judith, what do you mean? Do you mean about I should do a documentary about my YouTube channel? Is that what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying. Clarify it a little bit for me. Let's see. Prince did have somewhat of a punk rock image during Dirty Mind era. He did. I agree. Honestly, I don't like Nick Jonas too much. I'd be living for an interview with him. So yes, Nick Jonas, though, he is an interesting kind of person, performer. He actually was heavily influenced by Prince, and he did that on his very first solo album, which is the one that I'm going to be doing a review. It actually was very much along the lines like Prince and all that stuff. And then what ended up happening was it didn't sell very well. And then he came out and he was like super pop and dancing, and he cut his hair and all that stuff. And then now he's selling millions and all that stuff. So, you know, cool, you know, that's good. But I really dug his first album. So you'll see that whenever I do the review. It should be fun. Let's see. Oh, I'm actually at the bottom now here. Did you ever get a chance to check out that group, Sexual Harassment, We Want Prince? Oh, I did. I think you had sent me that link, actually, Alfonso. I did listen to that. It was okay. What about decoding thoughts on some songs and what others think the meanings of the songs? Funny you should say that. I actually am working on like I'm working on a new series of videos like that, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what the format's going to be for that. But I am working on something like that. It looks like here, my very first video of that type will be somewhere probably early March is what it's looking like. So, let's see. Am I going to do any Janet Jackson reviews? Yes, eventually. What happened to Rosie Gaines? The last I've heard, the PRN alumni is still raising money for her. I don't think she's out of the woods yet, but she hasn't passed. Hopefully she does not. I would love to hear more music from her. Let's see. Do I ever listen to Joni Mitchell? Not really, but I'm thinking about trying to do some research into Joni and see where I can see any kind of similarities or connections between her and Prince. I think that would make for a pretty interesting kind of discussion. Have I enjoyed the Prince in Hawaii photo book? Will there be a review? I hadn't even thought of that, of doing an actual review of that book. You're filling up my schedule here. Let's see. I snuck into the Baltimore show back in 2014. I wasn't allowed to listen to P growing up. Mom still doesn't know. Good for you. It's a rebel right there. Any chance of you interviewing Ashley Ann or Michael Trapson in the future? I don't know who Ashley Ann is. Probably not Michael Trapson. Though that would be a kind of interesting interview to do, because I wonder if he would come and do it as Michael Trapson, or if I would interview the guy who plays it. I wonder if he would want to stay in character, because if he did, then I'd have to like be rabid 80s Prince fan or something. Yeah, anyway. 12 likes though. Do we only have 12 likes? Is that what it is? No, there's 34 likes. I see 34 likes. Not really sure. I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm sure it's super interesting. He did a lot of charity work. Yes, he did. I would love to share the Darling Nikki. I would love to share the Darling Nikki story of. That seems like an incomplete thought. You should review Sonic 3 soundtrack. Probably not. Let's see. All your trials and tribulations of your hard work in the documentary for your YouTube channel. Okay. The idea is that I would be making some sort of new series about lessons learned or whatever. I've been talking with some people about possibly getting stuff together like that. That would be pretty interesting. I would be down for that. I'd be down for doing something like documentary style. It's weird though, right? Because I feel like I am the most boring person in the world. So why do you want to watch a whole documentary on me? I don't know. That would be a hard one. That would be a hard one to convince me that it would be worth it. Anyway. Oh, it's 2:15. Oh, Vicky, thank you so much for staying up with me. It's like 9:15 here. But I appreciate you for sticking with me, and hopefully you're having a fun time in the chat. So let's see. What do I think about the documentary soon to be out? Oh, I did talk about that earlier. I like the person who's making it, so hopefully it'll be good. Coming this March, Decoding Prince. Probably it won't be called Decoding Prince, but yeah, something like that. What do I think about Prince's dress sense and fashion style? I think that he was comfortable in whatever he wore, and he crafted his own sense of fashion, which I think affected fashion as a whole. Bam! That's like my stock answer for that. What happened to the actress who played Prince's girlfriend in Under the Cherry Moon? She went on to be an amazing actress. She's been in lots of stuff. I actually really like her. She's a great actress. And I'm trying to crap, I can't remember her name. Wow, I feel like a terrible person. I can't remember her name. Kristen something. It's Kristen something. But she's really awesome. What are my thoughts on Kid Cudi? Love Kid Cudi. I have 3 of his albums. He's really, really good. Do you know why Adore wasn't performed in the Sign of the Times concert movie? Not really. There were a lot of songs on that album that weren't performed in the Sign of the Times concert movie. So could be that maybe the cut wasn't good, or he didn't feel like it fit, or, whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Boo. Did I like the Come album? Hell yeah, I liked Come. And go look at my review for Come. I not only did the review for Come, but I did the one for the Let It Go and the Space maxi singles. So it was amazing stuff all around that. What about interviewing the Dancing Twins? I do that. I like them. They're pretty cool. Have you checked out the Rolling Stone cover? He's been here on it 7 times. I mean, I've seen a lot of his covers. Like, I haven't like collected them or anything like that. I actually did get a Prince magazine recently. Kristen Scott Thomas. Bam. See, I had the first name right. That I plan on showing you guys the magazine and maybe doing a little video about like what's in it and stuff, just in case you guys have never read the MPG magazine. So there's that. Let's see. Angelo, hello, I'm a new member of the Prince family, but I have heard many of his songs. Are there any albums or songs that I should check out? This is actually a question that I get a lot, where people are like, you know, hey, what should you start somebody off on? And my question to you is, what are you into? Because if you're into rock, then I might give you Plectrum Electrum, or I might give you Chaos and Disorder, or The Gold Experience. But if you're into like soul, then I might give you Controversy, or I might give you the Love Symbol album. You know, if you're into techno, probably would give you Rave. So there's a lot of different things. You kind of have to approach the person and live in their sphere. It can't be like, you're gonna like Prince and this is the song that I like, so you have to like it. It's like, that's the great thing about Prince, is that he's got a song out there for everybody. So there you go. I thought Under the Cherry Moon was her only movie. No, it was not. Let's see. I'd love a lessons learned on making a YouTube channel. I will be creating my own soon. I've done 2 videos like this, and I plan on doing a 3rd pretty soon here, like in the next few weeks. If you go look at my videos, they're called Having a Prince YouTube Channel is Hard. And I have part 1 and part 2 that are on my channel already. I made one my first year and I made one my second year. And I'm going to make one now going into the 3rd year, because each of them has its own trials and tribulations. So yeah, there you go. Would I ever think about putting my reviews on a DVD? You know, I would probably say no. YouTube is kind of just everywhere, so it's easier just to upload them and forget about them. Also, though, like, oh my gosh, I've now been doing this for 2.5 years now, and I go back to some of my older reviews, and I'm like, you know, like I had the camera came, you know, I was like this. I was way too close. My camera quality wasn't good. My sound quality wasn't good. Like, you know, I've been debating whether, you know, to go back and redo reviews just so that they look better and they sound better. I've decided against it. I'm just going to keep moving forward. And maybe when I am done with all the Prince albums, I will go back and I will do retrospectives and redos and whatnot. But like at this point, I'm okay. Let's see. We enjoy talking about Prince. We do. Crazy Music Geek. Opinion on the song Glass Cutter. Love it. It's actually been in my recent playlist. I've been playing that one a lot. I love that song. Prince is the reason why I started playing guitar. Me too. But I let it lapse too long. I got super busy around the tail end of the year, so I stopped practicing because I'm a terrible person. So like I'm gonna have to like start again, and it's almost like starting all over again from the beginning. So kind of stinks. We'll work it out. What are my thoughts on Linkin Park? Not a big fan of Chester Bennington's voice. I actually really like Mike Shinoda. So I actually like what's his solo? Fort Minor stuff. I like the Fort Minor stuff. Some good stuff from them. They aren't bad musically. I'm just not a fan of Chester Bennington's voice. Yeah, there you go. Prince discovered Kristen and gave her first break. That is true. Under the Cherry Moon was her first movie, but it was definitely not her only movie. let's see. Prince's friend, is there a chance that you would analyze Prince's fashion and his fashion style? If not, is there anyone who did? So, you might not know this, but I had a bunch of videos on here on the channel that were kind of going through Prince's fashion evolution. And those videos were taken down as soon as the deal with Sony was signed. And then they saw that I was using clips of Prince music in there, that they were like, hey, you can't use that. So I did lose those videos. I actually really enjoyed those videos, because what I did is, for every different fashion choice, I played you a couple of the clips of the music that were from those albums from those years, so that you could hear what the music felt like around the time that he looked like that. And it really kind of, it linked it all together. I could just re-upload them without Prince music and just throw some, whatever music in the background. But then you lose that connection, that sense of like, what are these videos for? Because it was never, what he wore was never just what he wore. What he wore was always a reflection of how he was feeling, what he was doing musically. It all was connected. So I feel like just throwing them back up there without the musical connections, I was like, whatever, I guess I'll just lose those videos and I'll just move on. So, do you have any MPG mags, and would you ever review them? I have one. I have I don't know if it's an Uptown or let me see. Because I actually have it right here. I just haven't actually taken it out of its packaging and read it. But let's see what it is. It's an Uptown. So I have an Uptown. I don't have any of the MPG ones. I was never really a big magazine collector. So there you go. Let's see. Where could you get a copy of Prince's comic book? I don't know. If you could probably check eBay and you'd probably be able to find one. For me, I actually have the files digitally, and I plan on doing some discussions about those comic books soon. So there's that. Soon, as in, I have no clue when, but I definitely want to, because I have them and I want to talk about them. Let's see. Those early reviews are a part of your story. Agreed. They're definitely a part of my story here on YouTube, and as becoming kind of where I am right now in the Prince community. It's so weird. I got my platform here in such a weird and fast way. Like, I started posting videos, and now we're 2 years later, and I had somebody comment on a video and they were just like, who are you? And I'm like, I don't understand your question. And they're just like, I've been seeing your name pop up everywhere. Are you a musician? Are you a journalist? What are you? And I'm like, I'm just a guy who hit play, who hit record on my camera and started talking about Prince. Like, that's literally all I am. Mwah. Good night, Vicky. We love you. So yeah, so that's me, and it kind of like snowballed from there. Like, this has just been growing and more, and I love it. And it's definitely, like I said in my other video, it's opened up different opportunities, and I've gotten to learn a lot more about Prince, and I've gotten to meet so many people. I got to meet Wally Safford lately, and we talk on the phone every so often because he's really nice and cool. So it's stuff like that I really dig doing this channel for, is that, I've always loved Prince and his music, and now I feel like I'm a part of that legacy, even if just in a small way. So yeah, there you go. Let's see, Angelo. Well, thinking about it again, I have listened to Thunder when I saw it reviewed by you as part of Diamonds and Pearls album review, and loved it. I also loved Dinner with Dolores. Well, those are two very different songs, Angelo. You're making that hard. If you're looking for more stuff like Thunder, which is actually, I would say, more pop rock than anything, gosh. I mean, you're probably going to want to go back to some of his, like, Sign of the Times would be probably really good for you. Maybe Artificial Age. If you like Dinner with Dolores, though, like, Chaos and Disorder is really good. Check out One Night Alone. That's a really great live performance that they had recorded. There's good stuff out there. The good thing is, too, is that if you're like a member of a streaming service or whatever, you can kind of get all of the music and just listen to it. But I am always a proponent of going in order. So there you go. I have a question here of what kind of mic do I use? I have a Lee Howe mic, and it doesn't have a model number or anything on it, but it's a Lee Howe mic. So there you go. I ordered it off of AliExpress. It wasn't expensive, but the sound quality is pretty darn good. So, and oh, you know what? Probably doing that probably like muffled your ear. I'm so sorry, everybody. I did probably pulling the thing off, like muffled everybody's ears. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see. Would you be open to collaborating on other channels? Yes, actually, and we already have. I've done channels. Actually, I've had people on my channel before, and I haven't really gone over into other people's channels yet. But I'd be open to it. I've actually been talking to. There's a new channel. His name is Elvis Jackson Prince, or Elvis Prince Jackson. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh, I just subscribed to him recently. And he's really cool because his favorite three musicians are Prince, Elvis, and Michael Jackson. And he does boxings and vinyl reviews and all kinds of stuff. So he's actually really nice. I actually really like him. I'll see if I can find a link to him and throw it in there. But yeah, I would love to go on some other channels. There's a bunch of channels that I watch that I would love to do more things with, and I really am, like, I'm really trying to push it this year. I have so many crazy ideas that I'm going to be implementing this year. You know, part of it is really trying to make the reviews more fun, and trying to insert skits and making them just a little bit more entertaining. You know, because we've been doing it with just me talking for years, and, you know, it's better to switch up things. Let's see. Is there any new info on the title review coming this year? Nope, not right now. What female artists are inspired by Prince in this generation? Well, I mean, Janelle Monáe is the easy one. I'm going to keep it easy for me, so I'm going to say Janelle Monáe. I have yet to see anybody attempt to interview Prince's guitar techs. That would be fascinating to me. Can you try? The question is, if they're names, you know, it's hard to ask, you know, you can't send an email to Prince's guitar techs at google.com. You kind of need a name. So that would just be about me trying to figure out who fulfilled those jobs. Because those are kind of the thankless jobs. Like, you know, they made it possible for Prince to be on stage doing those, you know, guitar solos and whatnot. But nobody really talks about the roadie. Tenacious D has an amazing song called the Roadie. Great song. You should go listen to it. It's great. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the Super Mario movie? Oh God, that thing was terrible. Why are you asking me about that? that's so silly. Also, at Prince's Friend, what do you think about the Janelle Monáe? Oh God, I love Janelle Monáe. I plan on doing some reviews on her. There's so many reviews to do and so little time. You know, when I started this channel, it was all reviews, and it has become like reviews are just part of what I do now at this point. Yes, Prince Elvis Jackson. Thank you. I'm so glad that you remembered the channel. Everybody go check out Prince Elvis Jackson. Great guy. He actually lives up in Georgia, and we've been chatting about possibly me going up there or him coming up down here because we're so close, and maybe doing some collabs or some videos together because he's a really cool guy. Yeah, so anyway. Oh God, the Kim Kardashian thing. Yeah, I loved Prince's sense of humor when he told Kim Kardashian to get off the stage when she wouldn't dance. And that's not even a sense of humor, though. That's not him being funny. That's him, I brought you on stage for you to dance. If you will not dance, get off my stage. And you know what? I respect that. He doesn't want people just standing there. I saw the interview with her, though, and she was just like, she got super nervous being on stage with Prince. And you know what? You know what? I feel for her. I get it. I get it. I would probably, I don't know if I would be exactly the same way. Like I might have been starstruck for a second, but I would have friggin' danced so I didn't get thrown off. Do I think Tamar will release a new CD? I'd like it. I really liked Milk and Honey, and I do plan on doing a review of Milk and Honey again at some time. Uh, Are you going to do a video on the Exodus album? Well, Travis, you are in luck because I did one already. So go check that out. Just search for Exodus on my channel and you will love it. I actually go in depth on that one quite a bit because the Tora Tora character is crazy. Let's see. Can you name the name of all the Prince guitars? Nope. Bam. I nailed that question. All right, so watching your videos on a flat screen is pretty surreal. You're gonna have to go, you're gonna have to tell me more about that. Is it because my face is so big? Is it because my camera's now high def and you're like, oh God, you look so old? It could be any of those. Let's see. I'd love to hear the sacrifice of Victor in the Prince Vault. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Hey, Chris Moon. Thank you for coming. I hope that you're also having a good year. Her's father was supposed to have worked for Prince. Oh, that's interesting. I like her. She's pretty good. Yeah, that'd be cool. That's nice. Good to know. Why wouldn't she dance with him? I answered it. Are you going to do a Band of Gypsies review? I haven't heard of Band of Gypsies, so maybe. You know, I guess if I like them, I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Is the reviews that I do, I think they're good because I'm also doing stuff that I like. There are a lot of, you know, review channels out there that will just find the worst things and they'll review them so that they can make fun of them. And you know, for me, it's just like, nah, I'm good. No, I'm good. I want to talk about the things that I love. And every so often there might be a thing that I don't like. But for the most part, I'm going to keep it positive. So if I listen to Band of Gypsies and I liked them, they're on the list. Yeah, totally. Let's see. Are you sad like me that Childish Gambino stopped doing music? Well, that's the question, right? He stopped doing albums, but then he just released This Is America. He just released Summer of Love and the other song, the other summer song. Feels Like Summer. So, you know, he's still doing music. He's just not doing albums. And I think that that's fine. I will take the little nibbles of Childish Gambino, all that he'll give me. Thoughts on Pearl Jam and Nirvana? They were okay. They weren't my grunge bands. My grunge bands were STP and Alice in Chains. And then I graduated from grunge pretty quickly into nu metal and industrial. So there you go. Watching a little dancing toddler is enough of a reason to join the Patreon. Thank you, Juliet. Yeah, that's actually the very first video that you get after becoming a patron is a video of me and Evan that I shot months ago. Oh my gosh, I should like redo that video because he is such a talker now. He is ridiculous now. He can have an actual conversation with you at 2.5, which he's smart. My other kids couldn't do that at 2.5. Just saying. But anyway, patreon.com/princessfriend. I gotta keep saying it, you know, because you know the dream. You know what the dream here is, right? The dream would be that this channel gets so big that it becomes my job. That my job becomes to talk about Prince and to be able to research Prince and interview people with Prince and go on Prince journeys and do so much more. That's the amazing thing. Like that's where that Patreon comes into play, right? It's like, you know, everybody's just like, oh, you're just trying to do it to make money. The money is so that the channel can grow. The money is so that eventually I won't have to have a second job. This would be my job. Just imagine. that's like the dream at this point. And I have videos talking about that, and I should probably stop. I'm sorry. uh, do you what do you say about the subliminal messages Prince would record on albums, particularly Darling Nikki Message? If you watch my review on Purple Rain, I actually talk about the backwards messages, because what he did on that album was actually very poignant at the time. Nowadays, it's like, oh, whatever, but back then, it really was that there was a whole bunch of backlash on metal albums and certain albums that would be, everybody was like, if you listen to it backwards, it says the devil is coming and blah, 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 and they're all Satan worshipers. And Prince is like, ooh, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to put a backwards message, but it's going to be about praising God, and it's going to blow people's minds. And it did. So that's the thing, right? It's not a subliminal message. It's obviously a backwards message. And then, yeah, and it's so beautiful, because again, he was always a rebel. He was always so counterculture, and that is Prince. That is why I love Prince. Like, oh, I love Prince. That's why I'm such a butthead sometimes, because people will be like, you should do this, and I'll go, no, I'm gonna do it my way, and I learned it from Prince, and they'll be like, you are terrible. Why don't you just do it the way we said to do it? Anyway. I crack me up. So as long as I'm entertained, I guess. Let's see. You should do something with the Paisley 5 and Dime. I haven't heard that one. I've been listening to a few different new podcasts, but mostly I've been catching up on the Prince podcast because I've been behind on them. But I've been doing that, and I've been listening to Mountain and the Sea, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that I've been listening to. It's pretty good. What was the reason that Prince decided to not release the Black Album? Go watch my review on the Black Album. I actually go into that quite a bit. And watch the one for Love Sexy, because they're together. But not really, because I made them like 6 months apart. But still, they're connected. Let's see. Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies, Yeah, Machine Gun. Oh, Jimi Hendrix. Okay, I like him. Thanks, PF. I had a cool year. We celebrated and reflected on what we did last year, such as going on the trip and other stuff. It was a good New Year event. Awesome. Good to hear, Chris. Do you know Dudism is a religion, like the main character in The Big Lebowski? No, I did not know that. But for me, like, Prince is almost like a religion to me. So there you go. You have the greatest Prince YouTube channel, so don't let them get caught up in the controversy. Well, thank you. It's really just kind of about, when you come into these sorts of things. We're probably going to wrap this. We're probably going to wrap this up at about 15. We'll make this a 2 hour. This is probably the longest live stream I've ever done, by the way. The thing about it is when I don't know how to just, I don't have to do anything. So when I care about somebody, when I call somebody a friend, I'm in, right? You're my friend. I love you and I care about you, and that's what it is. But not everybody has friends like that. That's not the way that everybody approaches friendship. Or it could be that we were never friends, and there you go. But there has been some recent, BS that's gone on, and I'm kind of over it at this point. But it did affect me for quite a bit, and kind of sucked. But yeah, the controversy will not get me down. It'll be awesome. Did I ever interview Prince? No. I've been thinking about like taking a Prince interview and splicing it up and like pretending like I'm interviewing him as a fun video. And then of course I'd ask him like silly things, and then he would have answers that would be super serious and make me look dumb. So yeah, meaning of the song Face Down, you will learn soon, as I am going to be doing the Emancipation review soon. So I mean, because it's a big thing, but essentially it was to all his haters, and he's just like, kiss my ass, essentially. I'd love for you to do a collaboration with the Violet Reality. I would love to too. They are super busy people. If you follow them on social media at all, they are always doing something. So like, I don't even know where I would fit into them, but I'd do it. They're nice. They're nice people. What do you think Prince would like to say to the world today if he could? There's a lot of stuff. And he was always up on the news, and he was always, you know, up on stuff. So he probably would have had something to say about a lot of stuff happening lately. So I would love to be a supporter of your channel. Well, thank you, Chris. You know, patreon.com/princessfriend. That's kind of how that works. I'd love to see you in mainstream media. The Today Show would be a segment on Celebration, and you as a Prince commentator. Now that would be cool. Or like if Ellen found my channel. Hey, everybody. All right, this is what I want you to do. This is a dumb idea. I want everybody to go tweet or Facebook or whatever, and I want you to post your favorite Princess Friend video, and I want you to tag Ellen. And we'll see if, because she's done that before where she's on YouTube and she'll find something that she likes and she'll bring that person onto the show. So like, seriously though, like, I want everybody to do that. Go post your favorite Prince video, a link to it somewhere on social media, whatever your favorite platform is, and I want you to tag Ellen if she's on that said platform. That would be interesting to see what happens with that. Probably nothing, but it would be awesome to see what happens. But thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. Isn't it weird how Prince went on with Darling Nikki but refused to release the Black Album due to it being demonic? Demonic, I don't think, was the word that was used. But you also have to remember that those albums were, was that 5 years apart? And he was in a different place spiritually. And the Black Album wasn't pulled because it was too sexy or because he had bad language in it or anything. It was pulled because he felt like it did not reflect his soul. And I'm down with that. Like, you shouldn't do anything if it's not going to represent you. So, so yeah, there you go. I have heard of Typo Negative. Not a fan of them. Favorite Prince influence, George Clinton, Miles Davis. I do like George Clinton. And funny enough, I've actually, doing the review for Zapp and Roger, which, again, I think you guys are going to really enjoy. And if you haven't watched the review for Chaos and Disorder that I did, go watch it and have a fun time and just lose yourself in the humor. I did try to have fun with that video. But anyway, but Zapp, like, I was listening to Zapp and I'm like, oh my God, like, I can totally tell where Prince was influenced by this song. I even mentioned one of the songs that kind of reminded me of Irresistible Bitch. So yeah, so there's that, some of that stuff. Thank you, Trip Show. Thank you. You said you love my channel. I appreciate that. Haters gonna hate. Thank you, Pamela 6, quoting Taylor Swift. I love it. Do you know on the Love Symbol album, it says, do not buy the Black Album? It was actually on the Love Sexy album, which I won't even fault you for that, because on the, there was a review that I did where I said Love Sexy, but meant the Love album. And you're saying the Love album, but you mean Love Sexy. It's great. So, you know, it sounds the same. Cannot Wait for Emancipation is my favorite album. Love Face Down and its wacky video. Me too. And I was actually really happy when they posted it to YouTube because it was a much better version than I've seen anywhere. Because I've seen like copies of the video in a lot of different places. So there you go. Here's my question. What is your memorable moment on your channel in 2018, which is now last year? My most memorable moment was, well, I talked about that in my recap video, but just, you know, we got so many new subs last year. We grew like 300 and something %. So it was really ridiculous how fast we grew last year, and I'm hoping we can continue that growth this year. So there you go. What's my age demographic? I don't even know, really. Looking at my stats and stuff, it's anywhere from 25 to 45, mostly men, which I was actually kind of surprised at, is that mostly men are watching my channel. As a matter of fact, here, I can actually pull up those stats. It's really cool to just have these apps. I am on this app too much. Audience, 65.9% male in the last 30 days. Let's do lifetime. 61.4% male, 38.6% female. Like, I have way more dudes on my channel, and it looks like 45 to 54 is the majority of my age range. But yeah, it's pretty high, up to 20, down to 25, and up to 65. So pretty good. So yeah, age demographic is for anybody, and that's actually the cool thing about Prince. And that's what, hopefully I'm conveying in my videos. I mean, obviously a young kid is going to look at me and be like, "You're old, dude. Why are you talking to me?" So probably that's why people around my age or slightly older are more, picking up on what I'm doing here. But anyway, there you go. There's so many great stats in the YouTube creator app. I'm just saying. Let's see. Last question. Have I ever heard of Bill Hicks? That's the comedian, I think. Yeah, I've heard of him. Favorite song is Themes of the Temple. That's a good one. So let's see. You've no Princess Friend. I've heard of Patreon, but never had an account in it. I apologize for that, but I will see if I can open up one. Cool. I mean, Patreon's pretty easy. You can actually just link it to a different social media account. You just log in pretty easily, and it's pretty good. I like Patreon. It's not bad. Let's see. I think Prince would say to us today, "Love God and love one another." Well, I mean, yeah, he would say those things because this is what he's been saying. So I guess I didn't have a new thing that he would be saying. Hi, Sharon Johnson. I'm doing well tonight, and obviously we're about to wrap up here. So I'm gonna hit last few questions, and then I'm gonna say, let's see. So I felt the Black Album was him letting off steam. Probably was. Have I reviewed Come? Yes. We are all the way through Prince's Chaos and Disorder album. So any album that Prince released, Chaos and Disorder, and before, I have reviews for. Go to the Prince Reviews playlist, and you can hit them all. Have I listened to Ida Nielsen's newest album? I have Turn It Up. I don't know if that's the newest, but Turn It Up was the last one that I heard, and it was great. Let's see. This channel is for all ages to see. Thank you. I mean, I try. I've been teased for liking Prince because of his look. So what's your thought on those types of people? Well, I mean, they're dumb. I will say that they are dumb. I was teased a lot as well growing up. As an effeminate man, I'm not butch and macho. I do wear my emotions on the sleeve. But at the same time, that was one of the things that, like, I looked at Prince and I was like, that's more man than I've ever seen. And I could be like that, that was me, that was always me. It was always about that. It was always about just being you. That's just how it is. So, so those people are dumb. And with that said, I will leave it there. Thank you so much for coming and watching this crazy, weird live stream for 2 hours. And the fact that you guys hung with me for 2 hours and made this night so much better than it would have been without you. So thank you so much. Don't forget to hit me up on Twitter. I actually posted a really funny picture of the Golden Girls and Prince and stuff. But also, so there's that. And on Instagram was where I recently posted a video of me and my son dancing, and that was a lot of fun. So, and I've posted pictures, things of me singing and dancing and having a fun time. My son now, anytime I play Prince music, he always rushes into the room and he just goes, he dances. So, like, he gets it. He gets it. He's 2.5 and he already gets it. It's amazing. So anyway, and then of course the Patreon at patreon.com/princessfriend. If you want to directly support the channel, if you've already been watching for a while and you're like, I want to take my support up to the next level, bam, Patreon is where to do that. And we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep getting bigger. In 2019, we have so much more on the way. So thank you so much, and may you live to see the dawn. Bar.